Arsenal Fan TV, I'm here with Bully. Bully, today we started off like a train. It was looking good, and then the penalty, it just seemed to just knock us.
Well, Sagna again at fault. I think every goal that we've conceded in recent times, every single one of them can be down to his fault, because he just does not put the tackle in and put them out. He lets the cross come in. And
we see in the end of Bacary Sagna. I mean, he's been a great servant for Arsenal. Always been one of the players that have been so solid and we rely on, but this season his game's fallen apart a bit.
Well, whether that is the end of him, but if it is, then why is he still playing ahead of Jenkinson? At the end of the day, you want to play with a player that you're going to be going forward with, not one that's going to be out the door. Well, I thought we've totally contained them. A few bad decisions again by Dowd, but then that's...
What did you think of the penalty?
It was definitely a penalty, but Sagna gave the ball away in the first place and then didn't even bother chasing it back down enough and put a lazy tackle in. And this has got to come down to what they're being taught. Now, simple, basic football, when in doubt, put the ball out.
You say that every week. When in doubt, put it out, but...
If you stop the cross, you at least half protect your goalkeeper. And we allow the crosses to come in too much, and that's where we get punished, because everybody then sort of like, oh, what's going on? Who's going to go for that? Because of this zonal marking. If Sagna is on his way out, then we should be playing the player that's going to be taking his place. And
Jenkinson a lot better crosser of the ball, isn't he, than Bacary?
Yeah, definitely. He's a lot better crosser of the ball, and I feel that we're a lot more settled at the back with Jenkinson in the right back. Again, it doesn't help when you've got Theo in front of Sagna and Theo doesn't want to tackle. I think he must have a contract with Dazzle or Aerial Actilift or something like that, because they must love. I think he wears the same kit every week. It never gets dirty. The only reason it gets dirty is when he's fouled. It's not because he puts a tackle in.
Were we putting the right balls through for Theo Walcott today? Theo Walcott is a player that can be devastating in behind, as we saw with the first goal. But that was the only ball, really, in the whole game that sort of went in behind. To Theo, why don't we play that ball in behind for Theo? It's no point in getting the ball and having to turn at players, because we can see that he doesn't really do much damage. Why are we not putting in those balls in behind?
I've heard that it's because he doesn't like the balls that way. He can't control it.
That's where he's at his best, isn't it?
Exactly. And he's not big enough and strong enough in himself to be able to get a player on his back. These big centre forwards these days, he's not big enough, strong enough or cunning enough to be able to, like, turn them. They'll just muscle him out of the game. And that's what happens most of the time. That's why he's better as an impact player for the last 20 minutes than he is starting the game. He disappeared again today. Every time that they had the ball, he doesn't know when to close down, cut off the short ball out from the goalkeeper, and he needs to be told all of the time. I wouldn't have taken Rosicky off today.
I was surprised by that. I was shocked.
Wow. Because
he was having a great game. You know, I was really shocked when he came off.
He gave us some steel in the middle. I would have taken Walcott off. I wouldn't have taken Podolski off either. I would have left them on there and really gone for the game. But it was.
I must admit, I mean, when he took off Podolski and Rosicky, the two players that were having, you know, they will shoot. They will try and. I thought, you know, where's the goal going to come from if we're going to go for another one?
Yeah. Well, we had a few opportunities now. That white rectangular box has stayed the same size for hundreds of years. And we've seen it in the Championship, Division 1 and Division 2 this weekend, where players have actually scored screamers from outside of the box. We don't do that. And that is our weakness. Every team knows that we're not going to do it. We're going to get down there and then it's like, take another 5 or 6 touches and passes, and then by that time the other team has got everybody back and in the box, so there's nobody there for us to actually try and penetrate. I'd like to say congratulations to the FA on being this, and it's no wonder the referees haven't really got much of an idea in the fact that the FA didn't overturn Giroud's red card last week
ridiculous.
against Fulham. I think maybe Alzheimer's is settling in along in the FA board as well, because you could quite clearly see that he tried to drag the ball back and he had the foot on the ball, and the ball, his right foot slipped. But what can you do? What can you do? FA, I could swear and say it stands for something else, but I won't do. But
now, listen, Robin van Persie, I know you. There's that famous game that was on Sky where he gave you his shirt. What was your feelings today, you know, when he came back? I mean, did you boo him, or was you just like, you know what, hey, he's a United player now, let's just get on with it? Or what was your emotions?
No, I didn't boo him. I didn't sing the songs along with the others about cursing him, because at the end of the day, it's the so-called money men in our board that have made yet another mistake. They should have kept him and see out the season, and I heard that he was actually wanting to change his mind. But
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, once we signed Giroud and Cazorla, the club never went back to him. They thought, oh, we'll get the quick 25 million and risk the 50 million.
You know what, if that is true, I mean, that's what you heard. I mean, that's a bombshell, if that's true.
That's what I've heard. How true that is, I don't know. You always hear different things, but we should have kept him and made him see out his final year.
Sort of player that if we would have had him in the team today, probably we could have won that game.
If we'd have had him in the team today and kept him all season, it would have been United doing a guard of honour for us today, and they wouldn't have even been qualifying for Europe. So, yet again, another bad decision by the so-called money men that run our club. I've heard that they ended up having to let her go all the apartments over at Highbury to a holding company because they overpriced them and didn't sell them quick enough. Our so-called men at the top didn't see the crash that was coming. Now, we still aren't out of that crash, and the biggest crash is coming within, I reckon, within 5 years, but I'll give it 10. But they probably don't see that because they're still getting bums on seats, and that's what it's about for them.
Well, let's go back to the football. 3 games to go. QPR away, Wigan at home, Newcastle away. They got smashed yesterday 6-0 by Liverpool. You confident we're going to get there?
I didn't actually see the Newcastle result yet.
6-0 they got beat at home.
Oh, that's a bad one. The Geordies will be unhappy. Like they was all moaning when he got given the 8-year contract, the manager last.
I think that contract's got about another 8 months to run, or maybe 8 days. But I mean, are you confident we can get something out of those 3 games?
Yeah, I'm confident we can get something. It seems like today that the TV wants to drag it out a bit longer, so make more of a story about it. So, but hopefully Wigan are going to already have maintained their safety by the time they come here, and I think by the Wigan game we should be able to say that 3rd or 4th place is ours, and hopefully Chelsea and Tottenham draw next week, so that'll keep them down behind us.